what is the Peer Connection program, and maybe just a bit about how you got involved.
Yep. Peer Connection program is a volunteer group of lived experience gamblers, if you like, that we have given the opportunity to call other people going through their gambling problem at different stages of that. I got involved through a counsellor in Melbourne. I thought that I was at the stage of my recovery that it might be, the stage of getting back on track, to hear a lived experience of and that stage of my recovery is really, really important to hear. I just wanted to hear other success stories. Being able to hear that someone was in a similar situation to myself, got their life back on track, saved their family unit, was just really, really important to me, because you have this overwhelming feeling it's only happening to me. This is not happening to anyone else in the world, which is, we all know, is not true. But at the time, you think it is. And I got matched up with a volunteer called Frank, and we spoke every Tuesday night for a long period of time. And that was, I'm always in debt to those calls, and they were really, really important to me going through that recovery.
Yeah. So why do you think the program is helpful for someone that is struggling with their gambling?
I think that overwhelming component of why it works is that lived experience component, that you're talking to someone who, and I probably thought it as well, who understands what you're going through. So to be able to talk to someone who's been there, gone through that process, and understand a little bit better, because they'll say, sometimes you'll be on a call and you'll say something and they go, oh, that's exactly how I feel, or that's exactly what I did. So I think it works so well because they've got that lived experience. We've got that lived experience component to their recovery, I think. So.
Yeah, definitely. So I think you sort of touched on it there as well. It's probably important to just talk about how Peer Connection works in conjunction with other sort of services that people might want to access as well.
Yeah. I think sometimes people think, like, we can have some callers that you sort of become, they'll ask questions on, like, from a counsellor perspective, from, what should I do with my finances, these sorts of things. Well, we're not that. We're just peer support. We're telling our story. They've got to get what they need, and so we'll point them in the direction of counselling services. They're local, and it is really important, I think, to get as much information you can, or give the client the options, because what worked for me is not necessarily going to work for you, Lockie, and not going to work for the new caller coming through. We're all different, and what we grab of those components for our recovery is going to be different for everybody. So it's really important to remember that.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that's important to point out that, we're not, our volunteers aren't counsellors, and we're very strong on that. But we, just because someone may only want to talk to a volunteer, someone with lived experience, that's completely fine if they want to participate. But also that we're going to support the other services such as therapeutic counselling or financial counselling if someone wants to do that, or maybe they might have disengaged from those services as well. We're really encouraging them to get back. The more support you got, the better. I think, like you're saying, everyone's different. Just wondering if you've had any positive client stories you'd like to share with us, Dan.
One in particular, a fella, a young guy, a lot of similarities to myself, was never interested in stopping gambling altogether. Right from the word go, I said, what do you want to achieve out of these calls? And he was, I just want to control my gambling. And I sort of had a little giggle to myself on the inside, because he just sounded so much like me that there's no way he was going to be able to do that. It was just going to be a process. Eventually, he would have to quit altogether. He got engaged. His fiance didn't know anything about his gambling to the extent of what he was. They moved to Queensland. And then I can remember one call where he was just bawling. His wife, fiance, was in the car, packed, ready to go. He didn't know what to do, and I was a bit tongue-tied myself. Like, what advice do you give to someone in that situation? I said, mate, you just need to talk to her. So I was really nervous about the next fortnight ringing him up. I slowly started to work, started to become open with what he was doing, and got his life back on track to the point of buying a second house, married, good job, savings, holidays. And on the last call, his wife there at the time was on the call to say thank you for your help. So that's probably the highlight of my peer connection time, I suppose. Just to get that recognition from the family group, if you like, that he'd got through it, beaten something that was potentially going to break them, and they're happy and living a lovely life, gambling free in Queensland. So that's I like that one. So.
Fantastic. That's such a good story. All right. So I guess if anyone wants more information, or if they want to want to get involved with the program, it's important also to note that it's not just for gamblers. We also have people who are affected by other people's gambling. So if you are being affected by a partner or a family member's gambling, you can be involved with the program as well.